Everything on my vision board has manifested into reality this year. Even this past weekend, I hit another business goal. So I had to share this with you because here are 5 things that will help you manifest your dreams and desires so much easier and so much faster, babe. Even if you've been through hell like how I have. This year, I got engaged and married to the love of my life. Everything I called in for a husband and a bonus dad for my 4 kids. We moved to our dream location. I'm literally living my dream life with my pool in the backyard, my palm trees outside, getting paid to exist. Everything has been thriving. And my biggest blessing is that my 4 kids are thriving. They're thriving in their sports. They're thriving in their school. And babe, every day I wake up so happy and thankful. So I had to share this with you. Make sure you stay to number 5 because that, of course, is my feminine energy secret.
And for those lovely ladies that are new here, what's up? I'm Natasha.
And I'm Brian.
I was a former single mom with 4 kids, went through a whole bunch of trauma and loss. If you're interested in learning more about dating and relationships and feeling good in your body again, I'm talking your hormones, your nervous system, all that.
Click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos and content.
So number 1 is becoming aware of the patterns that you're playing in. This has been such a game changer for me this year. And this is for most people where I already know that you have to be aware of what you're doing, the patterns that you're playing in, so you can actually break them and shift them. So if you're struggling with money, you have issues with men, you have issues with your weight or your hormones, there's certain patterns that you're playing in, babe. All of us, myself included. And you might be kind of aware of them, or maybe you're not. So whatever your goals or your desires are for this year or for the year coming up, things that maybe you haven't experienced yet, you haven't received yet, just look at the patterns that you have been playing in. So attracting certain types of guys, or constantly fighting, or maybe you have a lot of drama in the area of relationships, or maybe you're avoiding dating. That was me for so long. Patterns with money, self-sabotaging patterns with money, self-sabotaging patterns with business or with social media, or maybe you're not growing, or maybe as soon as you start growing, you stop and you go backwards. These are all patterns. Same with your weight and with your body, where maybe you start to lose weight and then you go back, or you start to make changes and then you go back. Those are patterns you're playing in. Here's a big pattern that I see with so many people, and this was me too, where you can't even allow yourself to experience a certain amount of pleasure. You have a subconscious cap of how much pleasure and how much, joy and happiness you allow yourself to experience before you start to have the anxiousness thoughts creep in. Some people have patterns of anxiousness and stress, and that is their default pattern. Your default pattern is to constantly stress, constantly feel overwhelmed. In your nervous system, that feels normal for you, right? That was me for so long, especially when you are in survival mode. That is normal. So these are the patterns I had to become aware of, and then pattern interrupt constantly, because the energy you're embodied in is the energy you're going to manifest more of, right? The words that you speak, it's not just the words that you speak, it's the energy that you're embodied in. Your thoughts, your feelings, how you're showing up every day, right? Life and death is in the power of the tongue, and you will eat the fruit of it. We literally create our own reality with the words that we speak and the energy we are embodied in. Also, with awareness is being aware of what's triggering you. Triggers are your friends, babe. Where you're getting resistance, where the triggers are coming up. Triggers are just areas that need to be healed to clear space so you can receive what it is that you're calling in. Do not ignore your triggers. Ask yourself, are there things that you are avoiding, that you are putting off, that you're hiding from, that you are procrastinating with? Those are things that need to be cleared out of your energy field so that you can receive the things that you're calling in, babe. Also, I really was working on being more in my feminine receiving mode versus being in my masculine energy, doing, chasing, hustling mode, right? Having to prove myself, having to work harder, do more. I just need more discipline. No, babe. I had to actually learn how to be Christ's bride. The bride gets to receive. That means that I don't have to be like a little sperm, masculine energy sperm that's hustling and chasing and competing and grinding and just going, burning out my hormones, burning out my, delicious, expensive feminine energy, burning out the polarity in my relationship with my husband. And even before that, when we were dating, right? Because we were also dating, burning those things out. Yeah, of course you can, manifest your desires by working hard, but there's other ways to do it too. And just being aware constantly, being aware of when I was getting into that mode of hustling and grinding and having to prove myself versus relaxed receptivity. Like, I get to have it. I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to take my aligned action, but I have the awareness that I'm already worthy to receive. Number 2, this was so huge, so huge for me. So I didn't have so many highs and lows this year. At the beginning of the year, I did. I'm not going to lie, because I wasn't as practiced in this as I am now, but was changing what I was anchored in. So for you, it's also changing what you were anchored in and detaching from everything else. So what does that mean? Things are going to happen in life, right? So if you're believing for something, space needs to be cleared. So if you're in a relationship that's not in alignment with what it is that you're calling in, there's a good chance that something's going to happen in that relationship, whether that person either steps up or falls away for the right person to come into your life, right? And this could be with work, it could be with business, it could be with clients, it could be in a romantic relationship, it could be with so many different things. Being okay with things that are no longer in alignment falling away without freaking out was huge for me, because let me tell you, at the beginning of the year, and right before we moved, right before we got engaged, right before we got married, all of these things fell away. And so my perspective now is, when things fall away, people fall away out of my life, I'm not attached to them. I love them, I bless them, and I release them. There's no hard feelings. As long as I know I'm in alignment and I know I'm in the receiving mode and I'm doing my part, what's meant for me will show up in my life, and what's not meant for me will fall away. And that's exactly what happened this year. And the less I would fight it and resist it, and the more I would just surrender into it, like giving birth, the faster things would manifest into reality. This is how you quantum leap. The reason why people struggle and they're in the same patterns, they're not getting ahead, they keep hitting walls, is because they are so attached to their old identity. They are so attached to old relationships. They are so attached to old ways of thinking and feeling and doing things. Which, by the way, being anchored, for me, being anchored in Christ is everything. That Christ consciousness. God is my divine masculine provider and protector. And because God is my divine masculine provider, protector, I'm not attached to anybody. I am not attached to anybody. Not coming from a place where my walls are up and I'm guarded and you can't hurt me, you can't get near me. No, my energy is soft and warm and loving, but I'm not attached to anybody else. I'm not attached to how it needs to happen. And that is the biggest thing that people get tripped up on when they're calling in certain desires, and they're so fixated on how it needs to happen or who it needs to be with. But once you release that and you're so open to however God, your divine masculine provider, protector, wants to bring it into your experience, you're not going to be stressed out and anxious about it. You're not going to create that sticky resistance energy around the things that you're calling in. For a lot of people, and this was me too, I'm like, okay, I understand that in theory, but it requires a lot of inner healing. I had to do a lot of inner healing this year. And I mean, I've had to do a lot of inner healing for the last few years, since about 2019. But really healing my nervous system was such a game changer, because it allowed me to not be so anxious and attached to things. It allowed me to not be so needing to control things to feel safe. And so it allowed me to just be way more open for things to be changing in my life and me not freaking out. I'm anchored in everything always works out in my favor. I'm anchored in that everything I need and desire always shows up for me. I'm anchored in everything is rigged in my favor. I'm anchored in everything happens faster and easier than expected for me. This is what I teach my girls in the community as well. And when you're anchored in these beliefs, it doesn't matter what happens, because things are always working out in my favor. It doesn't matter what happens, because everything I need and desire always shows up for me way faster and easier than expected. So I don't have any fears. I mean, as soon as those patterns try to creep in and, my nervous system wants to start freaking out, I know how to re-regulate now. And it takes practice. I'm not going to lie. It does take a lot of practice, a lot of brainwashing, a lot of mindset shifting, but it gets easier, babe. And what happens is, when you are so detached from everything else, you're so anchored in and rooted in that you are fully provided for, Like no matter what, you are provided for and you are protected, and everything that is meant for you is going to come into your experience. And you're anchored in Psalms 37, where it says, delight yourself in the Lord. That literally means to be happy. Be happy. Be happy in God and your provider, protector, and he will bring you the desires of your heart. That means I don't have to chase anybody. If you want to go, go. Have fun. I bless you on the way out. Okay. I'm not attached to nobody. Okay. And because of that, my energy is so free and I'm so easy to receive. And it also makes you super, super magnetic to the masculine. For all my ladies that want to call in their husbands, all right? Another thing that helps me with anchoring every single day is scripting. So I script every single day. Well, most days I would say couple minutes. Game changer. I have so many testimonials with women in my community. They're like, I was scripting on this, brand deals, businesses, husbands, dates, like weight loss, everything. I have scripted on everything. Even my husband right now, he is like, everything I scripted on. He is everything and more. Not only as a husband and my romantic best friend, but the most amazing father I could have ever asked for our 4 kids. He is perfect for it. That's just one example. Moving to our dream location, living our dream reality with our business where we get paid to exist, how I look, how I feel, feeling, I'm turning 40 in 2025 and I feel like I could run around circles, the 20-year-old version of me. These are all things that I script on and I teach my girls to script on. And that helps me stay anchored no matter what I'm seeing in my reality, in my 3D reality. I'm so focused on the energy that I'm embodied in and what it is I'm calling in. Okay, number 3 is taking messy action. Oh my gosh. So I am what I call a recovering perfectionist. Okay. I still have that spirit of excellence and I will not apologize for that. And I think that is a good thing. I still have high standards. I still understand that my energy is expensive. My time is exclusive. I'm not just giving it to everybody. But one thing that used to stop me so much, and I see it stop so many people, so many women, especially, is perfectionism. Okay. And that is, if I can't show up perfectly, if I can't look good doing it the first time, I'm going to avoid it. And how a lot of us women procrastinate from the things that we actually want and we actually desire is we fill up our schedule with things that don't matter. They seem like they matter. You're so busy. You're so busy taking care of your family. You're so busy working. You're so busy doing this. You're so busy doing that. But really deep down, you're procrastinating. And why you're procrastinating, because procrastination is actually just a trauma response because your nervous system doesn't feel safe to receive the things that you're calling in. It's a form of self-sabotage. It's probably one of the biggest forms of self-sabotage that I also had to heal. But it's because we want to look perfect. We want to be perfect. We're rejecting ourselves and we have a deep fear of other people rejecting us, especially people that we're really close to, family and friends and people on social media. Those are probably the biggest things that us women struggle with. This is why so many women come to my programs to heal that fear of being seen. It's a very deep-rooted, subconscious, collective experience that so many of us have to heal, that need to feel accepted and validated. And so it stops people from taking action. And action consistently, and action when even what you're doing, you might be putting effort into things and doing things and showing up, but you're not getting the results that you want. And then you start beating yourself up or you start hiding in shame. And this was me too, babe. These are things that we all have to work through, right? So it's like God is trying to answer your prayers, but you still got to show up, babe. You still have to take that messy action. Like no matter what, a child has to learn how to walk on his own, right? At the end of the day, you still got to put those reps in. And so once I started getting out of my own way and being okay with showing up and taking messy action and not caring what people think and not caring how I look and not doing it perfectly, I felt so free, so free. And trust me, it does take practice. Just being anchored in my core beliefs that everything is working out in my favor and I don't care what people think anymore. I've practiced being unbothered. So if people say ignorant stuff in the comments or, family or friends or whatever, those things don't move me anymore, babe. And you have to ask yourself, Are you getting in your own way because of that perfectionism? Are you not willing to take that messy action because you're so worried about what people think? And so once you can lovingly, like so lovingly, heal that off of you, and this is something I really, really work on with my women in my programs, you can start taking that messy action, babe, because no matter what, if you're willing to show up and take that aligned, messy action, your dreams, your desires will come into reality, babe. I promise you that. You literally have to have the attitude of no plan B. No plan B. So with business, with social media, with moving, with even getting married this year, I was like, I'm doing this. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but God, I trust you. And I'm willing to let go of everything that needs to be let go of. And I'm willing to show up and do my part. And I just trust it's going to happen. And it always happened. Everything I desired this year happened, and it continues to happen because now I'm okay with showing up and taking messy action and not doing things perfectly. And guess what? I still get to have it. And baby girl, I'm talking to you right now. You still get to have it. Okay? Even no matter what you've been through right now, even if you feel like you've made mistakes, and even though you feel like you've screwed up, maybe financially with your money or with your business or in a relationship or with your body and your health, babe, you still get to have it. Okay? God's mercies are new every day, every morning. God's mercies are new. And God's mercies triumph over judgment, meaning that even if I make a mistake, it's okay. There's no such thing as failure, only data. Number 4 is being willing to do things so differently, being so open to new ways of doing things and new people to spend time with. This trips people up all the time, where people are so fixated on hanging out with the same types of people, doing the same types of things, going to the same places, having the same conversations, watching the same thing, listening to the same thing, and you wonder why your life looks the exact same every single year. But once you are so open to new ways of learning and doing things, and the things that you're calling in, I promise you, are going to come in ways that you're not expecting. So you have to be so detached from your old identity. This is why it's so important. Your old identity has been killed off, and you are so open to new ways that these things can happen in your life, new environments to go to, new people to hang out with, new things and new ways of learning, new strategies in your business, right? Like things might have worked for you before, and that's great. We honor it and we bless it, but be so open for your next level to do things differently. And once I became so open, like I am so not attached to anybody or anything, that's when things happen so much faster for me. Ask yourself if you're still playing in the same patterns and still doing things the exact same way, or are you open to doing things differently? Because that person, that version of you that has everything on your vision board, that has all your dreams and your desires manifest into reality, that's a different person than the person that originally wrote those things down. It's a different identity. It's a different way of thinking. It's a different consciousness level around money, around your body, around relationships, around dating, marriage, around how you run your business, around how you view life completely, the people you hang out with. And you know that you're actually changing and actually quantum shifting because your relationships are going to change. You're going to outgrow people, and be okay with that, babe. That doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. It just means that shifts are actually happening. Okay, number 5. This is so, so key, especially doing things the fun, feminine energy way, where you're not burning yourself out. So number 5 is keeping everything fun and easy. I know that sounds so simple, but I was notorious for overcomplicating things. Okay. Like, let me just make this even a little bit more complicated. No, I don't do that anymore. I've completely divorced to struggle love and struggle business and struggle money and struggle health. No, we are not living that paradigm anymore. Things get to be fun and easy. Not to say that you're not going to have resistance or triggers or, moments where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't understand why this is happening. Those things happen. But when you're always asking yourself, okay, what's the fun and easy way of doing this? What happens is you actually signal to your nervous system that you are safe. So you're not spiking your cortisol. Your body doesn't think it's being chased by a tiger, and your body shuts down, and your amygdala is triggered, and all your thoughts from your past are coming into the forefront of your mind, trying to freak you out so you stop taking action. That's what actually happens. That's the neuroscience behind it. That's why women have so many hormone issues right now, and stubborn belly fat, and adrenal fatigue, and PCOS, and even horrible perimenopause symptoms or infertility issues. Their nervous system is so stressed out. Their hormones are so stressed out. They've signaled to their body that they're not safe. You're going up against a wall for the most simple things. So now my thing and how I teach my girls is we keep things stupid simple. Stupid simple. Because I don't need to prove how smart I am to anybody anymore. I don't need to do it the complicated way anymore. I want things stupid simple, because simplicity scales. That's a business tip right there. Simplicity scales. And my big thing too is not only having success in my life, but I want to be able to replicate it with the people that I love, with my family, with my friends, with the women, the hundreds and thousands of women in my communities. Is I want it to be simple for you. So that's how we do it the fun, feminine energy, easy way, babe, is we keep things stupid simple, and we find the fun way. We find the fun way to work out. We find the fun way to eat an intermittent fast and take care of our hormones. We find the fun way to date, again, for marriage. We find the fun way to have fun in our marriage. We find the fun way to make millions of dollars in our business and grow our social media and launch our products and do what God has called us to do. We get to do it the fun way. Okay, so let me know if that was helpful for you. If you wanted to jump in any of my programs, I'll leave the links below. I got a free community there where you can sample some of my trainings. I have my Feminine Energy Academy, which is popping. It is popping. The transformations in there are crazy for the women in the area of dating and marriage, in the area of money and business, and in the area of body, hormones, weight loss. Lots of inner healing is happening in there. Lots of nervous system healing is happening in there. It's amazing. Like, you will literally be love bombed by everybody in there. Okay. We have women from all over the globe in there. It's the most amazing, exciting, fulfilling thing I've ever done. And then I just launched, I'm so excited, my Cashflow Queens program, which is my insider business mentorship program, where you get to work with me in the area of growing your social media, launching your products, digital and physical products, your community, your paid community. And we do it with automations. So we get paid to exist 24/7 on autopilot. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you're thinking, and let me know where your heart is right now, the energy that you're bringing in to 2025. Okay, I love you, girls.